13. The Beacon Fires of Mount Li. After King Xian of Zhou passed away, his son Ji Gongnai ascended the throne, becoming King Yu of Zhou. King Yu was an irresponsible ruler who ignored state affairs, spending his time indulging in extravagance and pleasure. He sent messengers across the kingdom searching for beautiful women, neglecting his duties as ruler. One minister, Bao Xiong, tried to advise King Yu against such behavior, but the king not only ignored his warning but imprisoned him for 3 years. The arrival of Bao Sai. Bao Xiong's family desperately sought a way to secure his release. They purchased a beautiful girl from the countryside, trained her in singing and dancing, and offered her to King Yu in exchange for Bao Xiong's freedom. This girl, Bao Sai, soon became King Yu's favorite concubine. However, after entering the palace, she never once smiled, remaining melancholy and indifferent to everything. King Yu, eager to win her favor, tried every means possible to make her laugh but failed. Frustrated, he offered a reward. Whoever can make my beloved Bao Sai laugh will receive 1,000 taels of gold. The deception of the beacon fires. A cunning courtier, Gui Shifu, devised a cruel prank to amuse Bao Sai. At the time, Zhou had built over 20 beacon towers on Mount Li, Lishan, in present-day Lintong, Shaanxi. These beacons were part of an early warning system to protect the kingdom from invasions by the nomadic Chuanrong people. The system worked as follows. If the Chuanrong invaded, the soldiers at the first watchtower would light a beacon fire. Seeing the flames, the next watchtower would do the same, relaying the signal until all beacon fires were lit. Upon seeing the beacons, the regional vassal lords would immediately mobilize their armies to defend the Zhou capital, Huangong. Gui Shifu suggested, "Since we live in peaceful times, these beacon towers have not been used for years. Why not stage a false alarm? We can light the beacons, tricking the vassals into thinking an invasion is happening. When they arrive, only to find nothing, Bao Sai will surely laugh at the absurdity of it all." King Yu clapped his hands in delight. "Brilliant! Let's do it." That night, they climbed Mount Li and set the beacons ablaze. The vassals rage. When the regional lords saw the beacon fires, they rushed to the capital with their armies, believing a Chuanrong invasion was underway. However, when they arrived, they were shocked to find no enemy, only the sounds of music and laughter coming from the mountaintop. King Yu sent a messenger to dismiss them, saying, "It was nothing. The king and his beloved queen were simply having fun with fireworks." Realizing they had been tricked, the angry vassals cursed the king and stormed back to their lands. Meanwhile, Bao Sai, witnessing the commotion, finally smiled for the first time. Seeing her smile, King Yu rewarded Gui Shifu with 1,000 taels of gold. The downfall of King Yu. Obsessed with pleasing Bao Sai, King Yu grew even more reckless. He deposed his queen, who was from the state of Shun, and banished her son, Crown Prince Ji Yijiu. He elevated Bao Sai to queen and appointed their son, Bo Fu, as the new crown prince. However, the former queen's father, the Duke of Shun, was furious at this humiliation. He secretly allied with the Chuanrong nomads, promising them riches in exchange for an invasion of Zhou. Soon, Chuanrong warriors stormed into Zhou territory, marching directly toward Huangong. Upon hearing the enemy was near, King Yu panicked and ordered the beacon fires to be lit once again. However, this time, no vassal came. The beacon fires blazed during the day, sending thick smoke into the sky. At night, the flames illuminated the capital, signaling desperate cries for help. But the regional lords ignored the call, still furious at being deceived earlier. The fall of Huangong. With no reinforcements, the Zhou army was outnumbered and quickly defeated. The Chuanrong flooded into the capital, slaughtering the defenders. King Yu, Gui Shifu, and Prince Bo Fu were all killed. Bao Sai was captured and taken as a war prize. By the time the vassals realized the danger was real, it was too late. They rallied their forces and drove the Chuanrong out of Huangong, but the damage was done. The fall of Western Zhou and the birth of Eastern Zhou. With Huangong in ruins, the vassals crowned the exiled prince, Ji Yijiu, as the new king, King Ping of Zhou. However, King Ping could no longer hold the western capital, as most of the surrounding territory had fallen to the Chuanrong. In 770 BCE, King Ping officially moved the Zhou capital eastward to Luoyi, modern-day Luoyang, Henan. Since Haojing was in the west and Luori was in the east, historians divide the Zhou dynasty into Western Zhou, 1046 to 770 BCE, when the capital was in Haojing. Eastern Zhou, 770 to 256 BCE, after the capital moved to Luori. This transition marked the decline of Zhou power, as the central authority weakened, and China entered a period of fragmentation and war, leading to the Spring and Autumn period. 14. The talented man in the prison cart. After King Ping of Zhou moved the capital east to Luori, modern-day Luoyang, the Eastern Zhou dynasty was established. The Eastern Zhou period is divided into two distinct eras. The Spring and Autumn period, 770 to 476 BCE. The Warring States period, 475 to 221 BCE. During the Spring and Autumn period, the power of the Zhou kings declined significantly. While the Zhou king was still the nominal ruler of all states, in reality, his status was no different from that of a middle-ranked feudal lord. Meanwhile, stronger states began to annex weaker ones, leading to frequent wars. In this chaotic period, strong states that could dominate others were called hegemons, ba Zhou. The first hegemon of the Spring and Autumn period was the Duke Huan of Qi, Huangong. The rise of Qi state. Qi state, capital, Linzi, modern-day Zibo, Shandong, was founded by Jiang Taigong, one of King Wu of Zhou's greatest generals. It was a powerful coastal state with abundant resources from both land and sea. However, in 686 BCE, Qi fell into chaos. The ruler, Duke Xiong of Qi, was assassinated, leaving two rival claimants to the throne. Prince Zhu, who was in Lu state, modern-day Qufu, Shandong, supported by his advisor Guanzhong. Prince Xiao Bai, who was in Zhou state, modern-day Zhou county, Shandong, supported by his advisor Bao Shuya. Upon hearing of Duke Xiong's assassination, both princes rushed back to Qi to claim the throne. Guanzhong's assassination attempt. Lu state's ruler, Duke Zhuang of Lu, supported Prince Zhu and personally escorted him back to Qi. Guanzhong, fearing that Prince Xiao Bai would reach Qi first, led a small army to intercept him. As Prince Xiao Bai's convoy approached, Guanzhong fired an arrow at him. Prince Xiao Bai screamed and collapsed inside his carriage. Seeing this, Guanzhong assumed he had killed him and returned to Lu, believing that Prince Zhu was now the rightful ruler of Qi. However, this was a trick. The arrow had only hit Prince Xiao Bai's belt buckle. He had faked his death to deceive Guanzhong. Meanwhile, Prince Xiao Bai and Bao Shuya took a shortcut to Linzi, arriving first and successfully seizing the throne. He became Duke Huan of Qi, Huangong. Duke Huan's revenge and the fate of Guanzhong. Upon securing his throne, Duke Huan immediately declared war on Lu, demanding that they execute Prince Zhu and hand over Guanzhong for punishment. Lu state had no choice but to comply. Prince Zhu was executed, and Guanzhong was sent to Qi in a prison cart, expecting to be sentenced to death. Bao Shuya's recommendation. Bao Shuya, now a high-ranking minister in Qi, advised Duke Huan. Duke Huan, angrily, Guanzhong tried to kill me. How can I possibly use him? Bao Shuya, at that time, he was serving Prince Zhu. His loyalty to his master was unquestionable. Now that Prince Zhu is gone, you should judge him by his abilities, not by past enmity. Duke Huan hesitated. Bao Shuya continued. He is far more talented than I am. If you wish to achieve greatness, you need a capable leader. If you execute him, you will lose a rare genius. Realizing the wisdom of Bao Shuya's words, Duke Huan pardoned Guanzhong and appointed him as Prime Minister of Qi. Guanzhong's reforms, strengthening Qi. Once in power, Guanzhong implemented sweeping reforms, transforming Qi into the strongest state of the era. Economic development. Encouraged iron mining and advanced farming techniques. Expanded salt production by boiling seawater, making Qi the dominant supplier of salt. Increased fishing and maritime trade, giving Qi economic superiority over inland states. Military strengthening. Improved weapons production with better metallurgy. Strengthened Qi's navy, allowing Qi to control trade routes. Political strategy. Instituted merit-based governance, ensuring only capable officials held power. Weakened aristocratic power, giving the state greater control over the economy and military. With wealth and a strong army, Qi was now ready to dominate the feudal lords. The first step to hegemony, gaining the Zhou king's recognition. Duke Huan was eager to become the first true hegemon, Zhou. But why would other states submit to him? Guanzhong advised. The feudal lords are all supposed to obey the Zhou king, but he has lost power. If we claim to act on behalf of the Zhou king, the lords will have no excuse to oppose us. Duke Huan followed this strategy and sent an envoy to the new Zhou king, King Shi of Zhou, Zhu X Wang, with an offer. The state of Song is in chaos. If His Majesty issues a decree confirming Song's ruler, we will enforce it and ensure stability. King Shi, eager to maintain some influence, gladly accepted. The first alliance. The lords gather at Beixing, 681 BCE. With the Zhou king's approval, Duke Huan summoned the feudal lords to a meeting at Beixing, modern-day Dongyi, Shandong, in 681 BCE. However, only 4 small states, Song, Chen, Cai, and Zhou, attended. Several other lords, Lu, Wei, Cao, Zhang, refused to attend, waiting to see if Duke Huan would succeed. Despite the small turnout, the first alliance was formed, with Duke Huan officially named leader, Zhou. The alliance's 3 key principles. The lords agreed on 3 main goals. Respect the Zhou king and support the royal court. Defend against foreign tribes and prevent invasions of central China. Aid weaker states and intervene against unjust rulers. This set the foundation for Duke Huan's rise as the first hegemon of the spring and autumn period. Over the following years, more states joined the alliance, and Duke Huan of Qi successfully expanded his influence across China, becoming the most powerful ruler of his time. 15. Cao Gui's victory against the Qi army. After Duke Huan of Qi, Huangong, rose to power, he, with the guidance of Guanzhong, worked toward establishing his dominance as a hegemon. However, during one of his early military campaigns against Lu, he suffered an unexpected defeat. In 684 BCE, the second year of Duke Huan's reign, Qi launched an invasion of Lu. Cao Gui seeks an audience with Duke Zhuang of Lu. Duke Zhuang of Lu, tired of Qi's repeated aggression, decided to fight back. The Qi invasion angered the people of Lu, and many wished to resist. Among them was a man named Cao Gui. Some advised him. The state's affairs are for the officials to handle. Why involve yourself? But Cao Gui insisted. Those in power often lack true wisdom. In times of crisis, how can I remain silent? Determined, he went to the palace gates, demanding an audience with Duke Zhuang of Lu. Hearing of his persistence, Duke Zhuang, desperate for strategic counsel, invited him in. Cao Gui questions Duke Zhuang. Once inside, Cao Gui directly questioned Duke Zhuang's reasoning for resisting Qi. Cao Gui, what justification do you have to fight against the Qi army? Duke Zhuang, whenever there is good food or fine clothing, I do not keep it for myself, I always share with my people. This is why they will support me. Cao Gui shook his head. Small acts of generosity reach only a few. The common people will not fight for you over such things. Duke Zhuang, during religious ceremonies, I am always devout and perform rituals with sincerity. Cao Gui smiled. The gods cannot help you win a war. After some thought, Duke Zhuang added, when commoners face legal disputes, I may not be able to investigate every case personally, but I always ensure justice is served fairly. Cao Gui nodded in approval. This is what truly earns the people's trust. With this, we have reason to fight. Seeing Cao Gui's confidence, Duke Zhuang agreed to let him join the war effort, even inviting him to ride alongside him in battle. The Battle of Changshao, 684 BCE. The armies of Qi and Lu clashed at Changshao, modern-day Laiwu, Shandong. The Qi army, knowing they outnumbered Lu, immediately beat their war drums and charged forward. Duke Zhuang prepared to order a counterattack, but Cao Gui stopped him. Not yet. The time is not right. The Qi army struck their war drums a second time, signaling another charge. Again, Duke Zhuang prepared to give the order, but Cao Gui intervened once more. Wait. It is still not time. By now, The Lu soldiers were growing restless, eager to fight back, but they followed orders and held their ground. The Qi general, seeing no reaction, ordered a third and final drumbeat, believing that Lu was too afraid to fight. The Qi army charged with full force, expecting an easy victory. At that moment, Cao Gui turned to Duke Huang. "Now, order the counterattack." Lu's counterattack and Qi's retreat. At the sound of Lu's war drums, the Lu soldiers, full of pent-up energy, surged forward like tigers. The Qi army, caught off guard, was overwhelmed by the sudden ferocity of the attack. Their formation collapsed, and the soldiers began to retreat. Seeing Qi's retreat, Duke Huang was eager to chase them down, but Cao Gui stopped him again. "Wait." He jumped off the chariot, closely examining the tracks left by the Qi army's war chariots. Then, he climbed onto the chariot's wooden beam, observing the Qi army's retreating formation. After assessing the enemy's disorder, he finally turned to Duke Huang and said, "Now, you may pursue them." The Lu army chased down the fleeing Qi soldiers, completely driving them out of Lu territory. Duke Huang's questions after the victory. After the battle, Duke Huang, impressed by Cao Gui's judgment, had lingering questions. "Duke Huang, why did you stop me from counterattacking the first 2 times Qi sounded their war drums?" Cao Gui explained, "Battles are won with morale. The first drumbeat is when soldiers are at their highest fighting spirit. By the second drumbeat, their energy begins to fade. By the third drumbeat, they have already exhausted themselves. When their spirit was drained, our soldiers, still full of energy, struck back with full force, ensuring victory." Duke Huang then asked why Cao Gui had hesitated to pursue Qi's retreating army. Cao Gui answered, "The Qi army, as a major state, is still powerful. If their retreat was a trap, our pursuit could have led us into an ambush. I had to examine their movements first. When I saw their banners crooked and disorganized, and their chariot tracks chaotic and scattered, I knew their retreat was genuine. That was when it was safe to chase them down." Duke Huang finally understood and deeply praised Cao Gui's wisdom. The aftermath. With Cao Gui's strategy, Lu successfully repelled the Qi invasion, ensuring peace for the time being. The victory at Changsha became one of the most famous examples of military strategy in ancient China, demonstrating the importance of timing in battle. Striking at the right moment is crucial to victory. The power of morale. A well-timed counterattack against an exhausted enemy can turn the tide of battle. Caution in pursuit. A wise general confirms whether the enemy's retreat is real before chasing them. This battle showed that even a small state like Lu could defeat a great power through brilliant strategy and well-timed action.